My topic today, surprise gold rush, 10,000 plus Bitcoin. For thousands of years, our world has been raged and ruled by both good and evil. The whole topic, the whole reason gold and silver, the battle that's been going on and raging, it's all been about good and evil. So let's talk about this today. What is the root of all evil? The love for money. Rothschild said it best. Give me control of the money of a nation, and I could care less who writes his laws. And so the Rothschilds and the global elite, what do? They began printing money, fiat, paper. John F. Kennedy tried to stop them by introducing what's called the silver certificate, an executive order 1110. Well, that ended pretty poorly after they assassinated him. Changed the whole story, and then we come to find out, 54 years later, that there probably were 2 assassins, maybe 3. Were we the people lied to? No, that couldn't happen. A few years later, we have the elite's president, Nixon, on August 15th, 71. He closed the gold window. What did he do? He detached gold from fiat, from money. So now, there being no attachment to gold, that gave them the ability to print as much paper as they felt necessary. Well, then 2 smart men come along by the name of Hunt brothers. And what did they do? Well, in 1973, they started buying up silver. Why? Because you couldn't buy gold, it was illegal. So they bought the next best thing, silver. What did they do? They started buying millions and millions of ounces. And they took the price from $3-4 all the way up to $50. They cornered the silver market in '79, December. So what did the elite do? A month later, they introduce a law and they say, we're going to put a cap on the amount of silver contracts any one person can own. So they stopped the ability to corner a market. And silver crashed from $50 down to $10. So now the elite, they've closed the gold window. They've closed the ability to legally buy as much silver as you want. They call that they legally capped silver. So basically, the elite had full control of the money. They could print as much as they wanted to infinity. And guess what they did? They printed as much as they wanted to infinity. Here's the national debts. The U.S. is in debt more than $20 trillion. That's 20 with 12 zeros. China, 2 trillion. Japan, 11 trillion. Germany, 2. United Kingdom's 2. France, 2. It just goes on and on and on and on. All this money will never, ever, ever be repaid. The elite have no plans on repaying this money, ever. But what's happened with all this money? All of us, you, what did you get? Mortgages, credit cards. What that did to every one of us, this money, it puts us in bondage and slavery, okay? Now you go to work every day trying to accumulate paper money that in essence can be printed to infinity. So it has no value, but you're taught to believe that it does have value. But this is the lie that's been going on for centuries. So basically, modern slavery. Then it gets even better. The elite, they further took this fiat, this paper money, and this is the sick part. They start buying politicians with it, buying elections, drug trafficking money, paying for pedophilia. They legalized abortion with it. They manipulated every single market in the world. The Clinton Foundation supported bribes from all over the world in reference to this money. And the part that we're all here, they took silver, gold, mining stocks, and the junior mining stocks, and they manipulated them for decades. And this goes on and on and on. This era of time that we've lived in, okay, this era ends. It's about to end. A new era. We need to grasp this, but you will soon see this. A new era is about to begin. A new era where the elite's money burns. An era that will escalate gold and silver back into what we believe it is. It's a treasure. This is what it's about to be. Gold and silver will soon be a treasure once again. In the greatest surprise gold rush to ever hit this world. And the elite's Goliath paper debt game crashes. The events that will trigger this will be quick, sudden, and they will be unexpected. So not the $1 million question, not the $1 billion question, the $1 trillion question, since $1 million isn't that much anymore. When? When does all the shift begin to happen? All right, well, let's look at the month of December. Starting in the first week, which is right around the corner. Mark this time frame on your calendars. Make reference to it, make note of it. Because what's about to happen is something that's never happened in history, and this is what I believe is about to happen. You're going to have a COMEX default. Never happened before. This default is going to send gold vertical, like you've never seen before. The time this game that the elite have played is up, and their paper is toast. And as it burns, their world of buying politicians, buying elections, drug trafficking, paying for pedophilia, legalized abortion, manipulation of every single stock market, the Clinton Foundation of bribes, the suppression of gold and silver, and the suppression of the mining sector, and everything else is about to end. A new era that begins will be backed, will be by a system of precious metals, gold, silver, and yes, the cryptocurrencies. Here is the chart that I think you will find rather fascinating. This is what I believe the lines that the global elite have been using. This is a monthly chart going back to 1980. Have a close look on your left. That's the gold chart. Okay, on that chart you're going to see it's a monthly moving averages. So the 70-month moving average, the green line comes in at $1,328. You'll notice on the left, where's my point? I guess there's no pointer. So you'll notice right here on the left side here, you'll see two lines there, a green and a blue line. The green is the overhead resistance. The blue line is the support. It's the 140-day support line. You'll notice that in December of 2015, gold bottomed, and it's been holding that support line like a rock. Okay, it's never been able to penetrate that line. But on the top side, the elite have been preventing gold from penetrating the top green line, which is currently $1,328 as of yesterday. There's a zoom, there's a little close-up of it. But basically you'll see it hasn't penetrated that line. You take out that line on a close on a weekly, and it's game over, new era begins. Let's look at silver. You'll see the same thing with silver. And silver, on the other hand, is the 50-month moving average and the 200-month moving average for the bottom support. So the triggering numbers are 1328 on gold, 1734 on silver. Bitcoin. In January, it was like $800. As of today, currently it's trading just over $8,000. Okay? Here's the fun part. We saw this coming. In January, I uploaded a video titled, "Beware of Bitcoin's $400 drop in March." And it dropped $406. Then, in September, I uploaded another video saying, "Be careful. Bitcoin's going to drop $2,000 to $3,000." And it dropped $2,000 in September. And did an interview in September stating that at that time Bitcoin was $3,500. I said Bitcoin will be at $6,500 by the end of October. I was $50 off, $6,450 at the end of on the 31st of October. Same time, I uploaded a video in October saying, "Be careful in November." Another $2,000 drop. And it dropped $2,300 in November. Well, December, fun begins. The CME is now going to announce Bitcoin futures trading. What can you do with Bitcoin futures? Well, you can short the market. So now they're going to try to short Bitcoin. Good luck. What does the cycle say for December? Betting against Bitcoin, big mistake for December. In December, before Christmas, Bitcoin will be over $10,000. This is what cycle analysis is pointing to. Once 10,000 plus is hit, expect a pause, pullback like we've seen, like ones I mentioned earlier. Then it's going to go higher in the new year. However, it is going to hit a very important top. And that top's not going to be broken for many months. So they will be able to control the price of Bitcoin, but then the altcoins, other ones we follow, are going to start doing really, really well. Okay? So Bitcoin does hit a very important top early part of next year. If you're interested in timing points, just a little FYI, visit our webpage. Plug in the code or the promo code Gold Summit. Write it down if you want, and you'll get 30% off our subscription, and we will give you the time point for December when it hits over 10,000. You'll also get the time point in the first part of the next year when it goes to its final top that's going to hold for multiple months. So we'll give you those time points if you're interested in trading Bitcoin. Gods, December to remember is almost here. A new era of gold and silver is about to begin. The old's about to fall apart. Now, the big debate. This is great listening to Casey and everybody stand on stage yesterday and Rickards debating gold versus Bitcoin. I'll be up there later this evening and I can answer more questions. But here's what cycles say about gold versus Bitcoin, specifically for 2018. Before I answer that question, I want to step back and talk about the gold to silver ratio. Right now, as of today, the gold to silver ratio is 75 to 1. The in-ground, depending on who you talk to, is roughly 10 to 1. Some people say 15 to 1. Some people say 8 to 1. Let's just use 10 to 1. That means that silver is suppressed 7.5 times more than gold. So forget gold. My money's on silver. So let's talk about silver versus Bitcoin, because this is where it's at, not gold versus Bitcoin for 2018. The maximum I see the maximum I see Bitcoin for this year coming up, 2018, twofold increase, maybe three for this year. It has more power after that. But this year coming up, 2-3-fold increase max. Silver times 7. Silver's going over $100 next year. Okay, so silver will be the winner, hands down, over Bitcoin. So those that are selling their silver right now for Bitcoin, big mistake. Again, gold and silver, a treasure. This is the important part. This is what's been written in the Bible, in the Old Testament, for thousands of years. We are about to enter this time point. It's Proverbs 13:22, and it states, "The wealth of the wicked or the treasures of the wicked are stored up for the righteous." This is the time period we are fortunate enough to live in. Right here, right now. You're about to see incredible moves on precious metals. Bottom line is, we're all about to be blessed financially if you hold gold and silver. There is a God, but there's also evil. And you're about to be blessed financially. What will you do with your blessings? Choose this day who you will serve. I thank you and God bless. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. My name is Polny and I'm an analyst of time. Thank you. That is a options, it's an expiration point and then at the delivery notice. So if they don't deliver, someone's going to stand, if they don't deliver in time, that's a failure. And they've never ever failed to deliver. At the end of every month, there's a delivery. And they must come good on their deliveries. So the cycle is telling me that we're supposed to see an explosion. The only way an explosion can happen in price is a failure to deliver. In some way, shape, or form, or something triggers it. It could be a different event. This is my best guess. Since the timing is pointing to that window there, it could be something else. Again, my cycles, they give me timing points of when things could possibly occur, but they don't give me events. You know, events are something that we have to wait for and see what they are. But the timing point in the month of December is very interesting for some massive shift in what we know in the world we live. Yes. I do not. No, I normally had a booth, but it's kind of hard to sit there all for 2 days. Yes, if you need to find my information or like to find, just go to my website, Gold 2020 Forecast, Gold 2020 Forecast, and it's .com. And then the email is simply at AOL.com. Same first part, and then just finish with at AOL.com. I'll stand in the back for a few minutes. I've got a bunch of cards. If anybody wants some information or wants a card, it'd be my pleasure. Any other questions? Yes, go ahead. Because they're just different animals. You know, if you look at those numbers, I simply kept playing with the numbers until I literally found them just hugging. And it's incredible how they hug that both, you know, the tops and the bottoms. And it was interesting that gold, remember God's number is 7. And so it's 70 and 140, both multiples of 7 for gold. And basically, you know, God, stick an L in there, you got gold. Daniel's timeline, the reason I was able to nail the top to the day in 2011, because I used Daniel's timeline, and that basically is a biblical calculation. For the same reason, the same calculation of Daniel's timeline was used to nail gold at $1,045 in 2015. So, you know, that's hopefully answers your question.